Ladies, let me tell you something right now. You ever seen a strong man fold like a lawn chair? Not from pain, not from fear, but from a kiss. Oh yeah, it happens. And it don't even take much. Men, these chest-thumping, tough-talking, grill-mastering kings go weak when you kiss them like this. See, the thing about a kiss that makes a man weak, it ain't just about what your lips are doing. No, it's not the lipstick or the timing or how long it lasts. It's the message behind that kiss. It's what that kiss says to a man deep down without you even speaking a word. That's where the power is. Ladies, listen to me. You ever kissed a man and felt his whole body shift like he wasn't expecting it? I mean, he stood there with his hands in his pockets, minding his business, and then bam, you walked up, grabbed him, looked him dead in the eye, and kissed him like he mattered. Like you weren't just kissing out of habit, but like you saw him. And in that moment, he went from, I'm cool, I got this, to, wait a minute, what just happened? That's when a man goes weak. Because here's what most folks don't understand. Men are not used to being kissed like they are the prize. We're told all our lives to be strong, to keep it together, to pursue. So we do. We show up, we pay the bill, we drive the car, we fix the stuff, we protect. That's how we think we're supposed to love. But being loved back in a way that's intentional, that's soft, that's spoken without words, we're not ready for that. And a kiss, a real one, that's where it hits us. It ain't about passion alone. You can kiss a man with all the passion in the world, but if there's no message behind it, it's just motion. I'm talking about a kiss that holds intention. A kiss that says, I still choose you. I see you trying. I appreciate you. You're not invisible in this house, in this life, in my heart. Whoo! Man, that right there, that'll knock the wind out of a brother. Let me tell you a story. I know a couple been married 22 years. They've been through everything. Job loss, raising kids, medical scares, arguments, silent treatment, all of it. But this man, every time his wife walks up to him and kisses him on the forehead, just a quiet, deliberate kiss, no words, no build up. He softens. I've seen it. His shoulders drop, his breath slows down, and this big, hard, military-trained man becomes a little boy in love again. You ask him why, he says, because when she kisses me like that, I know she still sees the man under all the weight I carry. That's what I mean. A kiss can tell a man, you're more than what you do for me. You're more than bills and muscle, and yes, ma'am, you're my man, my person. And you don't have to announce it. You can whisper that with just your lips. And I'll tell you something else. When you kiss a man like that, he remembers. He could be driving to work, stuck in traffic, dealing with people who don't respect him, feeling like the world's on his back, and boom, that kiss comes back to his mind like a flash. It gives him fuel. It gives him peace. It reminds him, I got somebody who sees me. I got somebody who loves me quietly. And that kind of reminder, that's more powerful than any pep talk or motivational podcast he'll listen to. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying every kiss has to be deep and spiritual and poetic. Sometimes you just try and say, hey, I'm glad you're home. But every once in a while, when you mean it, when it comes from your heart and not just your habits, when it's a kiss that feels like a message, not a routine, that's when a man goes weak. That's when he gets humble. That's when he'll hold you a little tighter, do a little more, love a little deeper. And I'll say this too. It don't matter how long you've been with him, 5 months, 5 years, or 50. A good kiss still hits like the first time if it comes with real feeling. If it's not just part of the checklist, I fed him, I kissed him, I did the laundry, but if it's a moment you give him without asking for anything in return, you want to shake a man's soul, make him feel like you see him, like he matters, even when he's tired or failing or distant. Kiss him like you mean it, not like you're trying to get something, like you already got everything you need just because he's there. That's the kind of kiss that makes a man melt. And it ain't because he's weak. It's because he finally feels safe enough to let go. People always talk about how women want to feel chosen. And that's true. Every woman wants to know she's the one out of a million, that she ain't just somebody you settled for. She's somebody you saw, pursued, loved on purpose. And she should feel that way. But let me tell you something people don't talk about enough. Men want to feel chosen too. Yeah, I said it. I know it ain't popular. And I know most men don't say it out loud, but deep down inside, that's one of the biggest desires we got. We want to feel like out of every man you could have had, you picked us. Not because we check some boxes, not because we make decent money or because we're safe, but because something in us made you feel seen. That does something to a man. See, ladies, y'all got options. And men know it. Even if you don't see it that way, we do. We see how other guys look at you, how people flirt with you even when you ain't paying attention. A man walks around with his woman knowing at any given moment, 10 other dudes would trade places with him if they could. So when a woman turns to him with her time, her trust, her touch, and says, "You're the one I want," that hits deep. That's not just flattery. That's healing. You ever seen a man look confused after a kiss, like you caught him off guard? That's not confusion, that's disbelief. That's him processing the fact that, dang, she really wants me. Not just the idea of him, not just the role he plays, but him, the man with insecurities, with flaws, with fears he don't even talk about. You kiss a man with that kind of intentional energy, that I still choose you energy, and he'll be quiet for the rest of the day. He'll be sitting there wondering what he did to deserve that kind of love. Because you got to understand, men don't get reminded often that they're wanted. Think about it. When a man is dating, he's the one usually doing the chasing. He's the one planning the date, making the move, buying the dinner, sending the good morning text. Even in relationships, he's still expected to show up and prove himself. But how often does a man get told, "I see you showing up, I see you being steady, and I still want you"? Rarely. So when it comes, even if it's in the form of a kiss, it lands, it hits like a weight, a good weight, a reassuring, humbling, beautiful weight. And don't think this is just about physical affection. No. This is spiritual, emotional, psychological. You look a man in the eyes, grab his face, and kiss him with certainty, baby, you just rewired his brain. You just told him all that pressure you feel, all the ways the world expects you to perform. I don't love you because of that. I love you in spite of it. And that's the kind of kiss that makes a man lay in bed at night thinking about what he'd do to keep you smiling. Let me tell you something else. You can make a man stronger just by making him feel chosen. And I ain't talking about chosen once, back when y'all started dating. I mean today. I mean after 5 years of marriage, after kids, after bills, after hard seasons. You want to light a fire back up in your man's heart? Walk over to him, no warning, look him in the eyes and kiss him like, "You're still the one. I didn't settle. I still choose you." He will go to war for you the next day. He'll start folding laundry, fixing the garage, texting you in the middle of work like y'all just started dating again. It's because we're taught to suppress so much. Our emotions, our needs, our softness, we hide it, but being wanted unlocks it. A kiss that says you're mine, not just physically, but emotionally, that reaches the little boy inside of him that never got chosen on the playground, or the young man who had his heart broken and never said a word. That one kiss reminds him that even though life has hardened him, there's still someone who sees the man under the arm. And you didn't just see him, you picked him. So yeah, men go weak. We do. We just hide it better. But when a kiss tells us, without one word spoken, "You're enough for me right now," just like this, that's when our heart skips. That's when we hold you closer and breathe a little easier. Because finally we know you didn't just love us, you chose us. Let me tell you something that don't get said enough. Confidence and intimacy, that combination right there, that's the secret sauce. That's the mix that'll make a man forget how to function. It ain't just about being sexy. It ain't just about touch. It's about the way a woman carries herself while she loves her man. That's what gets them. That's what breaks them all the way down in the best way. See, confidence is not loud. It's not always about being bold or flashy. It's not walking around in high heels all day or trying to turn heads everywhere you go. Confidence, real confidence, is quiet. It's rooted. It's when a woman walks into the room like she already belongs there. When she touches her man, not to get validation, but because she knows she brings value. That kind of confidence, that's like gravity. A man can't help but be drawn to it. And when you mix that with intimacy, not just physical, but emotional, spiritual, intentional closeness, that's when a man really falls apart. I've seen it. I've lived it. There's something about a woman who knows exactly who she is and still chooses to be soft with her man. She don't need to dominate the room, but when she steps up to him, looks him in the eyes, and gives him a kiss that says, "You're mine, and I know what I bring to this relationship," that man's legs will turn to noodles. He'll be gripping the counter like he just lost his balance. It's because confidence tells him, "I don't need you to complete me," but intimacy adds, "But I want you close." You see the difference? Need can feel like pressure. Want feels like a gift. And when a woman gives a man that kind of kiss, the kind that feels like a choice, not a transaction, it hits different. It don't feel like routine. It don't feel like obligation. It feels like home. There's nothing more powerful than a woman who knows her worth, who knows she can walk away if she wanted to, but instead chooses to love that man with everything she's got. And when that love shows up in a kiss, when she walks over without asking for attention, without needing a moment to be perfect, but just because she wants to remind him what he has, that confidence melts into the moment. And men, we lose it. Every time. A confident woman will kiss a man without asking permission. She don't wait for him to make the first move. She ain't checking for the right background music or if her lipstick's perfect. She just knows, this is my man and I want him to feel loved today. So she'll pull him in, kiss him slow, maybe whisper something in his ear, and walk away like nothing happened. And you better believe that man's brain will short circuit. He'll be standing in there blank like, wait, what just happened? Let me break it down. A kiss with confidence says, I trust myself enough to give you this moment. A kiss with intimacy says, I trust you enough to share this piece of me. Together, that's not just affection, that's chemistry. That's connection. That's a memory he'll carry in his back pocket for the rest of the week. Now let's be real, not every man is gonna say this out loud. He ain't gonna run to the group chat talking about, man, she kissed me today and I almost fell over. We don't do that. But trust me, inside, he felt it. It's the kind of moment that makes a man stop looking at other women, makes him double down on his loyalty. Because when a woman shows up like that, full of herself in the best way, knowing what she's worth and still offering her love like a gift, he realizes he's got something rare. And real men don't fumble what's rare. And that kiss, it don't even have to be perfect. It might be in the kitchen while he's reaching for the salt. Might be when he's frustrated and not even in the mood. That's when it's most powerful, when it comes unexpectedly with no reason but love. You just step into his space, look at him like you know he's yours, and lay one on him that slows his world down. That's confidence. That's intimacy. And that's how you shut a grown man down without ever raising your voice. So if you want to make your man weak, not because he's soft, but because he feels safe, kiss him with that calm certainty, not like you're asking, not like you're hoping for a reaction, but like you already know the power you hold. He won't say it, but deep down, he'll never forget it. People always think the big things are what matter in love. Fancy vacations, anniversary dinners, grand gestures, public displays, and yeah, all that stuff's nice. It's cool to go all out sometimes. But let me tell you what really breaks a man down, what really gets to him, what really stays with him long after the moment has passed. It's the small stuff, the little things, the moments nobody else sees. That's where the power is. You want to kiss a man and make him weak? You don't always need fireworks. Sometimes the most powerful kiss is the one you give him in passing. The one you plant on his cheek while he's paying bills at the table, or the one you give on his shoulder while he's brushing his teeth. That's the one that hits. That's the one that tells him, I still see you. Because a lot of men walk around feeling invisible, even in their own home. They do so much, carry so much, and they ain't looking for applause, but sometimes they wonder if anybody notices. So when you give them affection in a small, unexpected moment, when you don't wait for the right time, you just create the time, that's when it sinks in. That's when it gets to his heart. See, men remember the small things. He might not say it. He might just nod, maybe give a little smirk. But that moment, that quiet little gesture, it registers, and he carries that with him. It don't take a big scene. It don't take background music or candlelight. Sometimes it just takes you reaching over while he's watching the game and putting your lips on his forehead like he's the most valuable man in the world. You don't even need to say anything. That one little move, that lets him know you're not just here doing life next to me. You matter to me in this very moment right now. Let me say something to the ladies who think, well, he don't respond when I do stuff like that. He just sits there. Oh, he noticed. He felt it. Men don't always react in the moment because we've been trained to be cool, to not show too much emotion. But later that night, when he lays in bed, staring at the ceiling, that kiss you gave him in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday, that's the one he'll be thinking about, not the one at the restaurant with the nice lighting, the one that came out of nowhere, that told him he was loved when he didn't even ask for it. That's what makes a man weak. That's what brings his guard down. Because those small moments, they say, I see past what you do. I see you. And you got to understand how rare that is for a man. We spend our lives being useful, providing, fixing, solving. So when someone stops us mid-task, mid-thought, and shows love just because, no strings attached, no agenda, it feels like peace, like freedom, like a break from the pressure. Let me give you an example. Say your man's had a long day, he's sitting there, shoes off, stress all over his face. Now, you could wait until he opens up. You could ask him what's wrong, try to pull it out of him. Or you could walk over, sit next to him, kiss the side of his head and say, I don't need you to say anything. I'm just glad you're here. That's it. Simple but powerful. That's the kind of kiss that don't need follow-up. That's the kind of moment that resets a man's spirit. Or maybe he's doing something mundane, fixing a light bulb, packing the car, taking out the trash. Walk up behind him and kiss his back. Kiss the back of his neck. That's the kind of kiss that catches him off guard. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's real. It says, even in the middle of the boring stuff, I love you. That's the type of love that sticks. That's the kind that don't wear out over time. And it don't have to be every day. It don't have to be a routine. Matter of fact, it's better when it ain't expected, because surprise is part of the impact. Men are creatures of habit, but that little break from the usual, that sudden reminder that we matter, that goes a long way. You can change your whole relationship just by learning to use small, silent kisses to speak volumes. You can calm a man's storms, bring him back to himself, help him breathe again, all without saying a single word. That's what small moments do. They build trust, they build love, and they bring him to a place where he don't have to be strong all the time. Just loved, just seen, just held in a way only you know how. And when you give him that, that's when he falls all over again.